Welcome everyone to the first class on machine learning using Python certification by equiskill.com. And in this class, we're going to build very strong foundations in statistics which are useful, right, going forwards, okay? Deepak, I've stopped your video, okay? All right.
Hello.
So folks, very quickly what we had covered in the last free webinar, I'm going to just touch upon it. So equiskill.com is courses that are run by real analytics professionals, as you see here, and not trainers. And we have a methodology called click and follow workshops where you're going to be following what we show you and running these codes as a part of the course. Of course, today I do understand that some of you may not have Python installed, but from the next class onwards, all of you are required to actually run the codes so that at the end of the class, you have real skills, right, in analytics. And we're going to be running this course. So this is Amit Upadhyay, and I'm actually the founder and CEO of equiskill.com. I've worked with Amazon Fraud Analytics, GIoT team, and City Advanced Analytics and Insight team. And we also have Shubro. And Shubra is going to introduce himself very quickly. So Shubra, if I can unmute you so that you can quickly introduce yourself to those that may have missed your introduction. There you go. Shubra, I've unmuted you. Yeah.
Thanks, Amit. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. So my name is Shubra Nandi, and you can call me Shubra. So I work as a chief scientist with an early stage fintech startup. Predominantly, we work on delivering.
Shubra, are you able to speak? Can you say something in the chat box? Because we're not able to hear you right now.
Am I audible now?
Yeah. Hello, Shubra.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, just a second here. Okay, so I think what happened was I accidentally have unmuted Shubra instead of Shubrodeep. So just give me a second here while I fix that. Here we go. Okay, Shubhadeep, I think you can speak now. Yeah.
So hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes,
So
sir.
just write yes or no. Okay. Yes. Okay, great. I think few of you guys are able to hear you. Okay, great. So my name is Shubhadeep Nandi, and you can call me Shubra. So I work as a chief scientist with an early stage fintech startup. Predominantly, we work on delivering insights on large customer data, solving computer vision problems using various machine learning techniques. I have also worked with companies like IBM, where I was part of the Watson machine learning team. I have published around 4 research papers on cognitive ML and AI, and have filed 3 patents. So that's a brief about me, and you guys will hear more from me as we go ahead in the class. Thanks, Amit. Over to you.
Just a second, folks, while we get Shubhadeep unmuted. So some of you are inquiring in the meanwhile that you would like to record the class. For your information, the class is already being recorded. Okay. So Deepak, you will not need to record it. We will record it and share it across with all of you. Okay. Okay. So Shubhadeep, are you able to speak? Right? Because I think we're not able to hear you at this point. I have unmuted you though. Just a second while we resolve this.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead. शुभ्रा
Hello.
कहाँ गया है?
Hello, I am Santosh from Kadapa.
Yeah, thank you, Santosh. So, Santosh, I'm going to mute you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, Shubra, I have unmuted you. Can you say something now?
Hey, hi, Amit. Am I audible?
Yes,
Dear
you are audible. Yes,
audible
please
now?
go ahead and please go ahead and introduce yourself. Yes.
Okay, fine. So, okay. So my name is Shubhradeep Nandi. So, and you guys can call me Shubra. I work as a chief scientist with an early stage fintech startup. Okay. I'm predominantly working on large data sets, delivering insights on them for their customers, and also solving computer vision problems using various machine learning techniques. Okay. Prior to this, I have worked with companies like IBM, where I was part of the Watson machine learning team. And I have published 4 research papers, primarily in the area of AI, cognitive, and ML, and have filed 3 patents. Okay, so that's a brief about me, and I think we guys will interact more. And over to you, Amit. Thank you.
Thanks, Shubra, and hi, Vasu. Thanks for joining the webinar. So, Shubra is a man of a few words, but he's from IIM Bangalore, and trust you me, he's one of the best instructors that I know in the business, of course. And thank you, Santosh, for your comment as well. Okay, and moving ahead, right, we've trained hundreds of professionals at equiskill.com. These are some of the companies that our learners have come from that you see on the screen. We know that data is exploding, and in the last 2 years, data has exploded to a point where every 2 years mankind is doubling its data. And if you just look at the number of tweets in a minute, it's 277,000 or 4 million Google searches a minute. How do you make sense of this data? And this is why data science, we had learned in the last webinar, has become such an important topic, right, in the 21st century. And companies like Facebook and LinkedIn may seem to be social networking or professional networking companies, but the reality, folks, is that they are all data companies, right? And what we're going to learn is to make sense out of our data and be able to convert the data, enormous amount of data, Mani Ratnam, that we have today. How do you make sense out of that data and convert that data into business insight that businesses can use for their benefit? Anyone who can do that today, Mani Ratnam and everybody else, is a data scientist, is a person who can, convert data and monitorize the data. And that's the learning that we're going to do in this course on Python and machine learning, right? Now, just to summarize quickly for you, right, we have to recap in the last class that we had learned that there are 3 kinds of data analytics. And this is what we will learn today. Descriptive, we're going to form the foundation of the analytical pyramid by learning descriptive analytics today, and statistics is the foundation of that pyramid. That is today's class. Slowly but surely in this course, we are going to move into predicting using data, right? And this is predictive analytics. And then as we move deeper into this certification course on Python, you're going to learn prescriptive analytics, which is how do you use machines to take decisions, right? And how machines can learn to take decisions themselves, okay? And that is, your prescriptive analytics, and that's something that we're also going to cover in this particular course. So long and short, we're going to go through the entire spectrum of analytics in this particular certification course on Python. Today, we will introduce the Python interface and statistics, right? Okay. So Mani Ratnam, you're most welcome to the webinar, and learning is very, very important. So welcome to the webinar. all of you will receive the videos for this class and the previous class that we have conducted. So on machine learning, Shubra wants to very quickly recap using just this one particular slide. What is machine learning before he moves into statistics, which is today's topic in the first class. So Shubra, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Amit. So guys, I think last session we understood what is machine learning. So basically this is the definition of machine learning, and we understood that machines which learn from past experiences and become better, and that is ideally the what you want to achieve from a machine, and how to make them more intelligent using the experiences. And we saw two definitions, one from Mitchell and one from Forbes. Okay. Apart from that, we saw like why machine learning, and we saw some of the key examples like self-driven car, the Google inbox, the weather bots like Sama. Okay. And then we saw the key two types of machine learning, right? The supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, right? The two broad classifications we have. Okay. Now, we also went into some of the key machine learning algorithms. So we just touched them, and we will dig more into each of the algorithms that go inside the codes. So we spoke about linear regression, logistic regression. We spoke about decision trees. We spoke about naive Bayes. So those are the basic algorithms that we covered, and we tried to understand them. Okay. After that, we took a real data, and I showed you that how you can take the real data about customer churn and then utilize that data to understand and predict. So first thing is that generate insights out of it, and then how you can use the data to predict whether a customer will leave your service. So churn is basically attrition, which impacts the bottom line. So that's where we found out that using data, somewhere around 3,000 lines, we took that and we found out that this is a set of customers who will leave. Okay. So that is the basic gist about what we did last class. And with this, we'll move ahead, okay, to our next set of things that we are going to do today. Okay. Samit, would you like to add anything?
So that's pretty good as a summary there, Shubro. What we will probably do is we will make you the host, and
Right.
I want to add something important as a context setting for those who are joining this class the very first time. Okay, so for those of you who would like to watch the free webinar that we had conducted last time, we will share the video with all of you. For example, Deepak, you've joined today for the first time, but please do be aware that most other people have also joined in the last webinar. So today is a proper class where we are going to learn about statistics foundations. You may ask all your questions about machine learning at the end of the class, but today you're going to focus on building your foundations in statistics with Shubra, right? So with that as the context setting, I'm going to hand it over to Shubra. We will have a break in between after around 1 hour from now, right? And everybody will get a nice break to go out and have a coffee or a quick bite, right? In around 1 hour from now, right? Okay, so with that as the context setting, please now be ready to get deep into statistics and learn the foundations of analytics, okay, before you actually get into machine learning and Python from the next class onwards. Shubra, you will be introducing Python today. You will be showing them the interface. Yes.
So yeah, Amit. So I will first start with Python, okay, and then I will go to introduction of statistics. The second
Wonderful,
half.
wonderful, wonderful. So Shubra, I'm going to make you the host now. Just give me a second here.
Sure.
Okay, you're the host now, Shubra.
Thanks, Amit.
You can project, Shubra. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Amit. So everybody out there, can you see my screen? Okay, great.
So please respond in the chat box, folks. Whenever Shubra asks a question, please say yes in the chat box. So I have said yes, Dinesh has said yes. I would request all of you to say yes. Thank you, Ratish. Thank you, Deepak. Okay, Shubra, please go ahead. Please be very participative, folks. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I will just share the philosophy that we take. Okay, so as you learn, okay, there are two key philosophies that as somebody who probably would training you would follow, is that as you learn, take baby steps, and as you build, use this knowledge to jump. Okay, so as you learn, take baby steps, and as you build stuffs, make bigger leaps and jumps. Okay. The second thing is that as a class, the idea is to go far or to go faster. Okay. So because alone you can go faster, but together you can go far. So this is the two philosophies that we follow, just because every participant is valuable to us and you want everybody to be at the same level as we complete the course. Okay. So with these two key philosophies, let me take you ahead to the core of this thing. Okay. So first section is Python, where I will give you a basic introduction about Python, what Python is, what all things you can do with it, and as a language, what all things we can achieve with Python. So if I don't mind, I just wanted to understand how many of you have actually worked before on Python. Just say yes or no on the chat pod. Okay, I think Adita said yes, Vasu said yes, few of you said, I think Vasu said no, Rajesh said no, Madhav said no, Dinesh also said no, Ratish said yes. Okay, so so what I understand from this class is that few of you are aware of Python and few of you are not aware of Python. So in honoring everybody, so we'll go through about understanding what Python is and what all things it can do. Okay. And you can put all your questions over here. I will take, once I logically end a section, I will take questions from here. All right, let's go ahead. Okay. Okay. So first question which anybody would ask is that why Python, right? Why we're not taking any other language? Because any other language like Java, C, and all those things are available in market, but why we are focusing on Python, right? Here are the key reasons, right? Number one, Python is simple and it's a minimalistic language in nature. Reading a good Python program should be like reading English. Its pseudocode nature allows one to concentrate on problem rather than language. So basically, if you're reading a Python code, it's almost like you're reading an English novel, right? It's so lucid and so easy to understand. Now, the key reason here why we are using Python primarily for machine learning is that we want to offload the complexities of a language and we want to give a lucid platform to build stuffs. And while we offload the complexities, this doesn't mean that Python is not a powerful language. It's a very powerful language. Okay. Okay. So that's the key thing. If you see the second point out here, it says that easy to learn. So since it is very lucid, the syntaxes are very easy. It's very easy to learn. So the people out here who said no, I believe by the end of, when you logically end the Python part, introduction part, you guys will be familiar with what Python can do for you. Okay. Okay. It's free and open source. So guys, you need not pay anything, right? The key point here is that everything is openly available. You can take the Python code, which has been created by people out there. You can modify it. You can create your own libraries, and then you can build on top of it, right? So that's the beauty, and that is the reason why the ecosystem of Python has grown so large. Okay, so free and open source, freely distributed and open source, maintained by Python community. So there's a huge community out there, and which actually maintains the Python code, and there's a community which keeps on doing contribution towards it. Again, it's a high level language. Okay, so a lot of the memory management stuffs are being taken care of. So again, I mean, in low level languages, you need to take care of, you need to do a lot of focus, I mean, give you a lot of focus on memory management. But in case of Python, that part is pretty taken care of. Okay, portable. Okay, anything, so if you're running it on one machine, you take the same code, put it in another machine, we just got the same version running, it will work. Okay. So from these key 5 points, you can start, probably I hope you are getting a little bit of gist that how Python can be useful, simple, and yet powerful. Okay, few more important things. Interpreted, you run the Python straight from the source code. Python program generates a bytecode and a platform native language. Okay, you can just copy over your code to another system and it will automatically work. So basically they call it a magic. So you take the code, put it into another machine, everything works. So it's not precisely dependent on your machine architecture and light things. You can just take the code which is run on one system, put it in the other system, it will work. Okay, object oriented. So basically you can create objects, and based on those objects you can actually segregate your code, right? You can decouple some sections and then use those sections when and whenever you need it. Okay, we'll see more of it as we go ahead. Extensible, easily import other code. So basically if you write a library and that library can be so you build a library, you give it to someone, that person can start using the library as it is. Okay, embeddable. So basically easily place your code in non-Python programs. Basically if there is a non-Python environment but still you want to put your Python, is embeddable. So people have tried running Python code on Android environment itself, so that is also possible. Extensible. Okay, so if you see over here, it has got a lot of libraries, and believe me, that is a reason why Python has been there for generations, and it will still continue because it has got this extensive set of libraries. Okay, now if you see I don't know how many of you have written scripts probably 10-15 years back. So basically all your DevOps scripts ideally used to be in Python. Okay, I think someone is unmuted. Can you kindly mute yourself? I request mute yourself. Somebody is unmute mode. Please mute yourself. Okay. Okay. So basically, the key thing what you can see over here is that in probably 10-15 years back, Python was still there, but it was used as a language which was used to pick up code, deploy code, and was used to run primarily in DevOps environment and like things. But after that, you could see that Python moved into into web programming as well. So if you see Flask, if you see some of the other libraries, Django, those are like excellent web frameworks, right? Similarly, Python got extended to the next set when machine learning and data science became one of the core subjects, and it came to the masses. So basically, data science was primarily primarily used by research and scientists, but slowly as you see data science and AI started moving towards the programmers and allied people, you'd see an interesting trend. You'd see extensive libraries getting developed. Some of the libraries which we learn over here is like SciPy, which is like pandas, and then there are some amazing libraries like OpenCV, NumPy, and all those things. All those things were developed by all those things got developed, and now programmers with minimal background of research can actually start using those libraries and start building their machine learning. Start consuming and even building their own machine learning algorithms. So that's the beauty of Python. Okay. Okay. So if you see how Python got developed, right? So this is a very interesting story. I think history is very important because you need to understand like how a program gets developed, right? So if you see over here, Van Rossum is a person who is credited with the development of Python, and this is his story. Okay, so in 1989. Okay, so this is what he said at a later point of time, and this is exactly what I have taken and put for you guys. So he said that so somewhere 6 years later, he said this. Over 6 years ago in 1989, I was looking for a hobby programming project that would keep me occupied during the week around Christmas. My office would be closed, but I had a home computer and not much else on my hands. Okay, I decided to write an interpreter for the new scripting language I had been thinking about lately. A descendant of ABC that would appeal a Unix or C hacker. I chose Python as working title for the project, being in a slightly irreverent mood and a big fan of Monty Python's Flying Circus. Okay, so this is where Python was born, and you can see over here that somebody was not having anything to do during the Christmas vacation. He had some amount of time. He utilized the time in building Python. Okay, and then after this, Python never had to look back. Okay, this is where it got it was built, and then you could see that today and in future Python will never become obsolete like some of the programming languages which have become obsolete today. Okay, okay. In January of 1994, the first official 1.0 version was released, and there are some amount of key things which got into that: the lambda, the map, the filter, and reduce. I think uh, that was okay. I still see that some of you are unmuted. Okay, so I'll quickly mute you guys. Okay, okay. I think everybody is muted now. Okay, so if you see over here, okay, in 1995, the next version was released, and similarly, if you see each version, they started improving and adding lot more things into it. Now, every language and every technology cannot survive unless there is a real push. Okay, so this is where you can see over here the last part, computer programming for everybody. This was an initiative that was taken by DARPA. So it is a Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, and this is the agency of US Department of Defense. What they did was that they started taking Python and helping Python reach common people. So everybody was started getting some amount of skill, skill development on Python and allied languages. And so you can see that this is one of the great push which was done to help Python reach common people. Okay, so you can see how the language started evolving. Then again, 2000, we have the Python 2.0 release and 2001 2.2 release, and each of the release you can see they have introduced new things. 2.0, the garbage collection came in, then 2.2, the generators were added. Okay, so generators are nothing but the what has been written over here, like the iterator behavior of the functions. Okay, and so so now what ideally I have given you over here is that a quick recap about probably for the recap for the people who are already using Python, and for the people who are very new to Python, some background about what Python is. Okay, so so just I would like to ask you guys if you remember, so in which year was Python written? So if you guys remember, can you just type it here in the chat box? If you guys remember, just a quick check. I see Atul saying 1989, Rajesh saying 1989. Okay, Venkatesh saying 1989. Yes, yes, exactly. So in the year around 1989, this is when it was written. Okay, great guys, thank you very much. Okay, so now what you guys need to do is that, okay, I have shared you on your screen, you can see a blue link, right? Okay, I would just copy it and give it in the chat pod as well, so that you guys can go ahead and try to download the Python. Okay, try to download it if it is possible from your end. Okay, I'll just share the link with you guys. Okay, okay, so if you guys can see my screen, okay, so this is where you will get Python. Okay, so if you guys want to download Python, okay, oops, okay, I'll share with everyone. Now, everyone out there, can you see that I have shared a link on your chat pod? Yeah, can you just go over there and see which version suits you? Okay, so this is where you need to download Python. Okay, okay, okay. Let me again go back to my presentation. Okay, so now what needs to be done over here is that you need to go to this particular location and download the Python version which suits you. Okay, I think Atul asked me a very interesting question, which version? Okay, so we'll go there. So there are two branches. One is 2.0 series, and then there is 3.0 series. Okay, so we will try to understand that which version to take. Okay, but before that, let me tell you like some of the things what you guys can do if you are able to download it, and if you have got sufficiently good internet speed which can actually take this video streaming which is happening via Zoom and the download both the loads parallelly, then go ahead and do it, or you can do it later. All right, okay. So so the guys who are trying to use Windows systems, you go ahead and download it for the Windows. Those are using a Linux system, you can go ahead and download it for Linux. Okay, so based on whatever operating system you are using. So I am precisely using a Windows box. So I will be showing you how I did it for my Windows system, and you guys based on your OS can use any of them. So there are a lot of standard steps which are available. But for now, what I will do is that I will tell you like what we are broadly going to do. Yeah, Deepak, just hold on to that. I will tell you like which version to take. Okay, just hold on for a minute. Okay, so download the thing. Not now. Once I tell you the basic difference between the two branches, then what we are going to do is that you can write your first program just to take the code, and then there are the two different ways you can actually basically your run the programs. It can be interpreter or an IDE, or it can be your normal. You can take a file and you can actually run it from your command prompt, or you're probably from a bash. Okay, bash window which is probably from your Ubuntu or Linux box, whatever you have. Okay, and if there is any Mac users, you also have got binaries which you can start using it. So everybody has got their own choices and of OS, and each of you can take it from there. Okay, okay. So I will go ahead and tell you like what are the steps. But before that, let me go ahead and tell you like the basic difference between 3.0 and 2.7, and then I'll come back to the setup possibilities in Windows. And the guys who are using Linux and Mac, you guys also have setup options given in the site itself, so you can start using them. Or if you want, I can share it probably in your chat pod. Like there are steps which you can follow. Okay, so but what is the key difference between 3.0 and 2.7 is that today most of the production systems are running on 2.7. Okay, saying that this also there is a big caveat to that. The thing is that the Python for future is 3.0. So what I will be using is primarily versions from 3.0 onwards. Okay, in my class, primarily because that is the future. Okay, and you can see over here that whatever the 4 points out in the slide says that there is no backward compatibility. So basically, if you are using 3.0 and then if you have written a code in 2.7, then it is very hard to go to 3.0 because there is some of the syntactical differences. Okay, and then from 3.0, if you have written a code in 3.0 and you want to port it back to 2.7, that is also not possible. And possible as in you need to do changes in your code. Okay. Okay, so the reason why 3.0 came into picture is that there are some security flaws in 2.0 version, and that is the reason why 3.0 came into came into the forefront. And what we suggest is that go ahead and start using 3.0 because that is going to be the future. Okay, so with this I will just go back. So I hope you guys understand like which version to take. Okay, so in case you are using 2.7 already installed on your system, so I think then probably you need to, while I take the classes, you need to change some of your syntaxes, make them synchronized with 2.7. And if you guys are on 3.0, then nothing like that. You just take my code and you can run it. Okay. Okay. And I will actually tell you the difference. But prior to that, now if you understand, you can actually go ahead and download the version of your choice, 3 or 2.7. That's basically your choice. I leave it up to you. Now you can download either of them and you can start setting up the environment. Okay. So for setting up the environment, for the Windows guys, I will just show you like where you need to go ahead and
Bro,
and
just a
put the
quick
pointers.
interruption. I think
Yeah.
for all of us that are in the webinar, it would be much better if you install 3.0 because it is free of cost, just like 2.7. I think everyone will agree with me. And it will be much easier for you because you can use the codes as it is, right? And we will not be able to assist you in changing the codes from 3 to 2.7. So perhaps my recommendation would be please all move to 3.0, which is what Shubra is using. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Amit. Yeah, even I also agree to that I think it would be better if you guys install 3.0 onwards. Okay. Okay. So now, those of you who are using Windows, you can download the Windows binary. Okay. So again, the caveat is that if you're downloading it now, see that your internet speed is good enough to handle both the things: the download of Python and the streaming video which you are seeing now. Even you can do it at a later point of time. Okay. So now what I would say is that okay. So okay. So few of you would see some of the setup failures. Just try to see what is your system like. Is it 64-bit system? If it is a 64-bit system, then go for the 64-bit ones. Okay. 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 So let me show you like how do you need to go ahead and do it in your Windows systems. Okay. Let me just show you this. Okay. So basically, if you are using a Windows system, okay, then you need to see over here, like it is 64-bit operating system, right? Okay, let me just take a something from here and say this thing, right? Okay. 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 So you can see that it's a 64-bit operating system. So if it is a 64-bit operating system, then you need to download the binaries which are 64-bit compatible. And exactly, I think Mani Ratnam said that run it as admin. Yes, you definitely have to run it as admin. So these are some of the basic nitty-gritties that you need to follow. Okay. So after this, okay, once you are done with this, so I'll go ahead. It is okay. Okay, so now I would go ahead and I'll show you like what you need to do. So once you are done with this particular thing, you need to go to your advanced system settings, and let me just click it. Oops, went somewhere else. Hang on. Yeah. So you need to go to your environment variables and you need to set the path for it. So basically what you can do is that you can set something as Python home. Again, let me just highlight that section for you guys. Here, you can see over here, right? You can see that I have set my Python home. Okay. So if you have set your Python home, something like this, and then you need to go to your path and change it. Okay. Done. Okay, you need to go to your path. So where is the path? Path variable is here. Okay, go edit and you can see over here, right? Let me just again highlight it back for you guys. Okay, so you can see over here that what I've done over here is that once I've set the Python home, from there I have given pointers to the lib, to the DLN and allied things. Okay. So the Windows user out here, are you guys clear on this? What do you guys need to do? Did I make sense? Okay. Anybody who is not clear, I'm happy to help. Okay. So setting up the environment, let me just reiterate. First thing is that you need to download it. Okay. Now, once you download it, you need to it will be part of a folder. Okay, so in that folder you need to go and you need to make that as your home folder, which is like the pi home, which you can see over here. And you need to precisely give pointers to the libs how to make path in environment variable. Okay, so this is something where probably you need to go. Okay, so how do you make a path? Okay, let me just help you out in there, just giving one example. Okay, so basically cancel, let me just erase this guy out. Okay, go over here. So basically this is your, okay, this is your path. Okay, this will anyway be part of your environment variables, right? You have your environment variables out here and your path will anyway be part of it. Okay, once you go to path, just do an edit. Okay, you can now go over here. You have got something as, let me just highlight it back. You have got something as new, right? So once you do a new on that, you can add it. Okay, so Maniratnam, does it make sense how to make path in environment variable? Okay, because path will anyway be part of your, it's a default thing which is part of your environment variable, so that will anyway be there. All you need to do is that just add the variable pointer. Okay guys, am I making sense? No? Yes? No? Chat? Yes? Okay, still finding it difficult, Vasu? Okay, so what I will do is that I'll send you the installation steps. Okay, I'll at the end of the class we'll send you the installation steps. Okay, so that will help you guys, whoever is not able to install it. But I guess for most of you guys, you were able to install it. I mean, as in like you were able to see how you can do it, right? Are you able to get that feeling how you can do it? Okay, right? Okay, I can see many of them are saying yes. Okay, so okay, let me clean this guy. Okay, let me cancel this. Okay, just for the simplicity of everybody, let me reiterate this step again. Okay, I know this is a bit complicated. Okay, so what you guys need to do is that once you, okay, I think Madhav said that, sir, can I install Python on Windows 7? Yes, Madhav, you can install. Okay, so Madhav asked me a question regarding that. I said, so I believe right from Windows XP, any of the version till Windows 10, you can install. So all the versions is available for that. Okay, so let me reiterate the steps. Okay, so whenever you download Python, okay, there will be a folder, something like this, okay, where you will be having your Python binaries. Okay, the binaries, that which means there will be a DLLs, there will be libraries, there is DLLs are dynamic link libraries, and then there will be lib folder and allied multiple other things. Okay, so what you guys need to do is that put your Python home pointer to that. Okay, so that will set pi_home, number one. Okay, what's next? Next, you need to find out your path variable. So your path variable will be somewhere here. Okay, go and edit it. Okay, once you edit it, you will see there that there is something called new. Okay, so in my case it is already there, so I don't need to do anything. So once you click on new, it will bring out a folder, I mean a path like this. So here you can actually write whatever you want as in like Python home and /dlls/libs or /scripts. So I'll do a cancel. I will just again open it up and let me tell you guys like the things out here. So I'm just really going a bit slow here so that those of you who are facing issues in this can actually get some fair amount of understanding on this. Okay, so you can see over here, right? I just created a variable pi_home, and then I am pointing. So you can see over here, this is one, this is basically the second, everything. This is like inside libs, everything, inside DLLs, everything, inside scripts, everything. That's it. Okay, so it's like a pointer to the key folders and the key binaries which are part of the Python installation. Okay, Okay, guys, I think we have given sufficient time to it, and those of you who are still facing issues can reach out to us and we will help you out. Okay. 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 So let me do a cancel. Let me do a cancel. Let me do a cancel again. And this is guys the portal where you need to go and do a download Python. So again, let me just highlight this section as well. Okay, so you have got Python 3.6.3. This is the latest version. Then for guys who are using Linux, if you're looking for Linux, it's here. If you're looking for Windows, it's here. For Mac, it's here. Okay, so any other version, any other guys, I mean any other version, I mean any other OS you guys are using, you can start finding it here in the others. Okay, yeah, there is something called others. Let's say you're using a Raspberry Pi or something like that. I know you guys might not be using that, but this is where you need to go and find. Okay. 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 So basically, once you go over there, let me just go down. Okay, just hang on. Okay. 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 So this is one of the versions, 3.6.3. Okay, let me just click this and let me see where it takes me. Okay. So if you go inside that, okay. So whoever, I think someone has asked me about 64-bit. So I think, okay, someone has asked me about 64-bit and all. So basically, I think Vasu has asked me, right? Vasu. So here is the answer, Vasu. So if you see over here, there is executable installer 64-bit, and one which is like x86 is like the lower version of it. So basically you will understand it from here. When it is appended to the 64, it's a 64-bit one. Okay, makes sense, guys. For OS, Mac OS, guys, 64-bit and 32-bit. Okay. Okay, guys. So makes sense. Okay. Okay, guys. So okay, so let me go ahead and go to the next set of slides. So I hope you guys have fair amount of understanding, like from where you need to go ahead and download Python, number one, and for the Windows user, how you can set it up, right? For the non-Windows user, the Linux and the Mac guys, I will probably send you a pointer probably at the end of the class, or I'll ask the team to send it to you, so you can get that pointer and start doing an installation. Okay. Okay, guys. So let me get back. Okay. Basically, I think someone said that, okay, so I think Deepak asked me, I downloaded 32-bit. So ideally, Deepak, go for is if your system is 64-bit, go for a 64-bit one. So that makes your life easier. Okay. Okay. And let's go ahead, guys. Okay. Okay. So next, what you need to do is that you need to write your first Python program. Okay. So now, before going there, as I said that there are three key differences. I mean, three or four key differences. We'll just see, right, how anybody who is using Python, I believe some of you who already said yes, and you guys are having already Python installed. So you guys would see that your way of programming would be different from the syntaxes that I will give. Okay. So in case you're in 2.7 and you are not okay. So basically what you guys need to do is, I think someone gave me interesting advice that okay, so this will Okay, so I think Dinesh is saying me that to fix and install the issues in the class itself. So I think Dinesh, honoring everybody's time, what we will do is that in case of programming issues, we will definitely fix it in the class. But in case of installation issues, which is probably to only a few people, we will probably honor everybody's time and take that part offline. Okay, does it make sense? Okay. Okay, so what do you guys say, right? Should you take it offline? I mean, the installation part of it, because I think every system is different. And when we go over here, I think if you might actually end up using a lot of our productive time, right? So I think honoring that, let's take it offline. We will help you out. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's go over here and try to understand the basic difference between 3.0 and 2.7 bit. Okay. So what happened in 3.0 is that there is a syntactic difference in the print function. Okay. So print function will have braces. Okay. So so what happens from here is that going forward, if you're trying to download some code from internet and it is in 2.7 and you're trying to run on your Python system, which is 3.0, these are some of the common errors that you will get. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that first and then I will go into the basics of it. So just remember, guys, whenever you are downloading a 2.7 code and you're trying to run on a 3.0 system, first thing that you guys need to see is the print statements. Okay. Okay, so you can see over here that in 2.6, if there is in 2.x, if there is no braces, still it prints, but whereas in 3.x it will not work. So just keep that thing in your mind. Okay, then there is a typical change to the division operator. Okay, so in 2.x, what used to happen is that your after division, the values automatically gets converted. So if it is like an integer division, the values will automatically get converted to the nearest integer. So that used to happen in 2.x. And in 3.x, it will actually get converted to float. Okay. So the beauty here is that, so when Python turned into a scientific language. Okay, so here every decimal point is important, right? I mean, in data science, even a fraction or a single decimal point makes a lot of difference in your results. Okay, this is what got fixed in 3.x. Okay, but I think you can actually, when you do a division and to be on the safer side, you can actually use float in case of if you're using 2.x. But that's aside, since most of you guys will be moving to 3.x, I just wanted to give you that information. Okay. Okay. One more key thing is that in a lot of codes which probably you might see on the internet, which is written in 2.7, you'll see there is something called X range. Okay, let me just highlight that thing because that is very important. You'll see something, this thing, right? This X range. Okay. Okay. So guys, I think I just got a message from Madhav saying that the screen is not showing properly. So what about you guys? You guys are able to see the screen properly? Everybody else out there? Can you just say yes or it's fine? So Madhav, probably
Yes.
a internet issue from can you just kindly check it out? Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me go and reiterate the thing. So these are some of the key things, guys. Just keep them as you can note them down and keep it with yourself. So because this will help you out later. So most of you would actually go ahead and download some of the code and try to run it, right? That's, we human being, we are very curious people. We try to run and all different things. So X range is something which you need to keep in mind, that it is no more there in 3.x, whereas it was there in 2.0 series. Okay, so that is removed. Now basically range, which was also part of 2.x series, caters the X range part of it. So what X range does is that it is used for iteration. So basically, if you can see over here, for X in X range 1,5 print X, it will actually print from 1, 2, 3, 4. There is a starting point is 1 and the ending point is 4, because 5 is the last limit. Okay, so the same thing is done with range. It will also do it.
The basic difference between range and X range is that X range gives an iterator, a common iterator, which is not static. So, but whereas in case of range in 2, it is static. I don't want to go into the complexities, but just keep in mind, guys, I'll go into the complexities when I go into the looping function. So what I wanted to keep you guys abreast with is that you guys remember that if you are download a code, it has got X range, then it is a 2.7 code. So you just need to modify that. Okay. Okay. Great. Some amount of changes have also taken place in error handling. Okay. So if you see in 2.x, one very important thing that got added in 3.0 is this. Okay. Now, if you are saying that try to check error, except name error, comma error, this comma is now replaced with as. Okay. So this is one of the basic difference. Okay. So now if you are taking a 2.7 code and you are trying to run you on a 3.0, you will start getting this error. Okay. We'll try to understand more on the exception and allied things as we go ahead. Okay. Just wanted to give you guys some pointers which you need to look into. Okay. Okay. Then let me go ahead to the next. Okay. This is something which is very interesting. This is something which again has been incorporated. So now let's say we have seen that issue, right? When -7 divided by 5, we got sorry, let me just remove the markings over here. So okay, so we remember this thing, right? We remember this division, right? We have seen this division some time back, right? So if you remember this division, if you say you're running the below code on 3.x, you will get -1.4 and 1.4, right? 1.4 and -1.4, because 3.x actually takes care of that issue. Now let's say you are running the same code on a 2.x environment. So this is for the guys who are already on 2.x and who are very reluctant to move ahead to 3.0. So in case you guys are very stubborn to move to 3.0, I know there is actually if you are working with the Python community, there is strong ethos on the 2.7 and 3.0 community. So if you guys are one of those who are very reluctant to move there, then you guys can use something like this, which is from_future_import. So it will actually make it future compatible. So now in the below 2.x code, division will work properly, as in it will give a fractional output. So this can be made available on your 2.x code as well, but a bit complicated, right? You have to write a lot of things and you will keep a lot of things in mind. So guys, these are some of the benefits of which basically 3.0 has given to you. Okay, so just remember this thing. I know as soon as you go back from here, those of you who have installed 3.0 would try to download some of the codes, and you will see that your basic codes will start failing, like the print statement. So the first code what people write is print, like in print hello world and all allied things. I think that thing will itself fail. Okay, so I don't want you guys to fall in that trap. So I just wanted to give you that initial heads up. Okay guys, so running Python, right? Few of you might already have Python, few of you might have installed it just now, if you could have installed it just now. But again, as I said, there are two ways of writing Python code, right? So so one way is the command line, and the second way is the sorry, I think I'll talk about two ways in command line, and then there is a third way, which is the interpreter or the ID way. Okay, so the first one is this, which I have shown you. Like you can go to your command prompt. This is basically for the Windows user is command prompt. For the guys who are using Linux and all, you go to your bash window, and then you can start using that. Okay, so guys on Windows, you'll have your command prompt, and I will in few minutes I will show you how to run a Python code here. So you can actually go into your folder and you can write something like this. Okay, let me just highlight it. Okay, I think let me just okay, you can see over here, right, that what I've written is Python hello world.py, and it has printed hello class. Okay, so I will show you what hello world.py has, and then I will show you how to run it. Okay, then there is a next step, which is the Python interpreter itself. Okay, the interpreter is in like you go and okay, and you see over here that you just need to write Python, right? You just need to write Python. It will open up your environment. So in my case, the environment is 3.5. That is a Python version I'm using. So if you guys are installing today, you will get a new environment, which is 3.6. But at the end of the day, it is a Python interpreter. So you will get your Python interpreter. What you need to do is that just type Python. It will take you to the right environment. And then you have this three conical brackets, like which is opened up, right? So here you need to go and type, okay, whatever command you want to write. You want whatever command suits for you. I will show you an example. Okay, so let's see the example, guys. You guys still there with me? Yes, no? Yes. Okay, so few of you said yes. Let me go ahead and show you guys. Okay, give me a moment. Let me just open up my command prompt. Okay, guys, don't focus on anything else. Just focus on what I'm going to highlight just now. Okay, so this is basically your first Python command. Okay, what I've done is that I have written this particular statement and I have put it into a file. So this is my file, hello world.py. I have written print bracket this thing and I've saved it. Okay, now what I will do is that I will go to my command prompt and then I will say, okay, just hang on. Go to the mouse pointer. Okay. Okay. So if you see, I have got my hello world.py over here. Now what I need to do is that Python hello world.py and we'll run it. Okay, it is saying over here hello class. Okay, so this is one approach how you can run your Python files. Okay, make sense, guys? Okay, now I will show you second approach, as I said, right? The second approach which I have mentioned over here, which is like using the Python interpreter. Okay, okay, I think Deepak is saying that it should be different from YouTube videos. I think Deepak, what you can do is that we will make the video from this class available, and I would suggest just check through the video. Once you see it, you'll be able to understand like the steps being taken. Okay, so I think going forward, we will send the communication about Python installing Python. We'll send the communication alert things beforehand. Okay, makes sense, Deepak? We will do it. Okay, for today, kindly bear with us. Okay, so I think as we take the break, why don't you go, as we take the break, you can go ahead and try to install it and you can try to take the steps. Okay, make sense? Okay.
Yeah, yes, I think that will make sense to, just make sure the flow of the class is not interrupted. Thank you so
Right.
much.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay, guys. I think one thing which I have already said it to you, and that was that the first step where we have actually done hello world.py. Let me just erase everything so that there is no issue here. Okay, gone. Okay, all the things. So now the second thing that I said is that just type Python. Okay. Once you have installed Python, just type Python. It will open up this interpreter. Let me just highlight it back. Okay, guys. Okay. So you can see over here, it will open up the Python interpreter, right? Okay. So you can go over here, and now what you can do is that you can actually start typing over here, right? Print hello. I say hello world this time. Okay. So you can see over here that in my interpreter, you can get this output. Okay. So I've done a spelling mistake. So it will also give me a spelling mistake. Okay. Okay, guys. So these are the two steps. Okay. First, you need to go ahead and you can do is open up your notepad, write something like this. Let me just show you over here. Open up and write something like this, like the print hello class stuff in one of your files. And then what you can do is that go ahead and type Python hello world.py. So it will say hello class. The second thing is that, so you will say hello class. Okay. The second thing that you can do is that you can open up the Python interpreter, something like this. Okay. By typing Python, and what you get over here is this particular prompt, right? Which is a Python 3.5.2, and then it will say Python hello world stuff, right? Okay. And if you write there print hello world, it will give the output is hello world. Okay. Okay, guys. So I hope this makes sense for you guys, right? So two approaches, and then we go ahead into the third and important approach, right? That is where we will start playing more with some of the advanced things. Okay. Okay. So the third approach is the ID approach, right? Okay. So let me just erase the things out here. Erase. Okay. Okay, so you can see over here that that what we have over here is that we have got a set of IDs, right? Notepad++, Sublime Text, TextPad, Cream, Slick Edit, Spider, and PTK, right? So what we are going to use over here is that today we'll start with one of the IDs, and you can choose any of the IDs you want. You can take probably your TextPad or your Notepad, and you can run your code either using both the approaches that I have said to you. Or probably you can download Sublime Text, that is also available in internet. You can download it. Okay. And then you can actually write down your code over there, and then you can use it. But this is only for today. Okay. While we go ahead in the advanced versions, okay, we will use something as PyCharm. Okay. So PyCharm is an advanced ID. So that is something which I am going to show you in the next class when we start with the advanced Python versions. Okay. Okay. For today, what I'll be showing you is I'll be showing you using the Sublime Text, okay? Because we are talking about basic Python and you don't need an advanced ID, okay? So if you see the image over here, okay, just hang on. Okay, if you see the image over here, this is of Sublime Text, okay? This is a simpler ID, okay? Now, if you go ahead and, okay, let me just remove this and show you the next ID. Okay, so the ID that you can see over here, this is the one that we'll be going to use. Okay, that is a Jupyter notebook. Okay, that will be incorporated. I mean, that is already incorporated as a part of PyCharm. So we will see how to launch it. Okay, in the next class. Okay, by that time we'll also send you the installation, how to do the installation for PyCharm, from where you can do and download then into the installation of it. Okay. Okay, so with that, I think you guys at least have a fair enough understanding, like from where you need to go ahead and download Python, step one, the environment setup, the ways you can run Python, the very nitty-gritty basics of it, right? So I hope you have that understanding, right? Am I correct in saying that you have that basic nitty-gritty understanding, that you, from where you need to go ahead and download Python, number one, how to set up Python in the environment. Basically, I've shown it for the Windows guys, okay? And the number three is that what are the different ways you can run Python? There are basically three different ways, right? One is via the ID. The second is with the interpreter, and the third is with the command line, right? So basically, let me reiterate. Step one, command line, the CMD. Step two, the interpreter. And step three, this is the one. Guys, it makes sense to you guys? At least some understanding, right? Yes or no? Okay. Now, when you are here, I think some of people have said yes, okay? Rest of the people, does it make sense or it's not making sense? Yes, no, anybody out there? Yes or no? Okay, few of you said yes. Okay, okay. Rest, I am not getting an answer from you guys. Is it no or yes? Okay, okay. Okay, guys, okay. So now if you see the ID that I am going to use today, just to demo you like how to run some of the Python programs. So this is the ID, okay. Let me just share with you guys. Okay, thank you. I think thanks to Muthu, Santosh, Atul, Madhav, Vasu. Okay, thank you guys for answering it. And okay, so basically this is the ID that I am going to use today. Okay, so this is called Sublime Text. Okay, this is a very interesting ID, but this can be used for your basic stuffs. Okay, we'll go into a richer ID next class, which is probably focused on Jupyter Notebook and like things. Okay, so see, this is a very basic ID. You can see over here that I have got a set line. I have lined up a set of programs for you. I'll just run through them and I'll show you how it works. Okay, and again, these programs will be shared with you, and you guys can start using the programs as it is. Okay, and you can start running them. Okay. Okay, guys, let's move ahead. Okay. Okay, so okay, now some of the basics which you very much need to understand are the variables in Python. Okay, so basically if you see, there are 6 key variables in Python. So how many of you knew this beforehand, that there are 6 variables in Python? Anybody? No? Okay, so let me tell you the key things over here. Okay, str, basically the string stuff. The Unicode, when you include a character and a string together. Okay, so give me a minute, guys. Hello. Yeah, tell me. It'll help me out during the break. So that is what I said, right? No, I haven't given the break. No. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so basically what you need to do is that if you have got str, you have got Unicode, you have got numbers. Numbers is, you can see over here, anything with decimals is a float. Anything, if you see something like here, right? Okay, right, this is a integer, this is a float, this is u plus my string. When you combine a character with a string, then it becomes a Unicode. Okay, So these are some of the complexities, guys. I think this might sound a bit boring to you guys, but these are the basics. The basics are always boring, guys. I understand that. Okay. So str is basically the string part of it. Then you have got the float right over here. Then you've got the complex variables. 4 plus 3j, which is like when you say j or I to a variable, it becomes a complex variable. Then you have got the Boolean part to it, right? So basically, this is the different variants that you have. Okay. Then Python has got a set of variable types, which is like list, tuple, dictionary, or hash. Okay. So let me just help you in understanding what these kind of things are. So list is basically, as you can see over here, you can push in any number of values you have, right? And then similarly, a tuple is also similar to that. You have got values pushed into that, right? 69, 6.9, my string, and true, right? Okay. Okay. So the key thing here is that I think this is an excellent question which Santosh has asked, which is mutable, right? Exactly. Your string, I mean, if your list is actually a mutable one and your tuple is immutable. So there is a reason to it, right? So what happens over here is that what is immutable and mutable, right? We need to first understand that. So when you see that, I mean, I will show it in an example as well. So what happens with a list is that you can actually modify the values inside. So let's say if this is a list, the first value in the list is 69. So list, the first item in the index of the list, right? Index is something like you have got a book, page 1, page 2, page 3. Similarly, if for this list, the index 0 is 69, index 1 is 6.9, index 2 is my string, and true and allied things, right? So in this case, let's say index 0 is this and index 1 is 6.9. So basically you have 6.9 as index 1 of the list. Then you can actually modify 6.9 to something else. Okay. But when it comes to your tuple, the whole story falls apart. Okay. Let me just move everything. When it comes to your tuple, what happens is that this 6.9 can never be modified. Okay. Once you have created a tuple, you cannot modify it. Whereas in case of list, you can take this 6.9 out and modify it with probably 8. Okay. I'll show you an example. Okay. So this is a basic difference between a list and tuple. One key thing you can see over here is there is a square bracket. Okay. And then this is like the parenthesis way of stuffs, right? So over here, and with that. Okay. But list and tuple is almost the same thing, right? Now it comes to dictionary or hash. Okay. The story is a bit different. Okay. So here, how many of you remember, I mean, how many of you worked with Java Elite programs or remember something called hash map? Anybody remember hash map? Anybody have heard about hash maps? Hash maps. Okay, great. I think Atul says yes. Venkatesh said yes. So basically, yes, I think Atul said he's from Java. So Vasu said he has not heard. Okay. Okay. So basically, just to give you a brief about it. Okay. If you are storing key value pairs, okay, that is the basic idea of hashing something. You have a key, you have a value. Okay. So that thought process, what we have probably in Java, some of them are from Java and allied things. Okay. Allied programming languages. For those guys, your hash map here is called basically a dictionary. Okay. Where you'll have key value pairs. So you have got key 1 and you have got a value. So, and your value, if you can see over here, let me just again show it here, that you have got a key 1 and a value which is an integer, and then you have got a key 2 and you have got a value which is a Boolean value. Okay. So this is more about a group of key and a value pairs which you can hold. Okay. Okay. So let me go and show you the code itself. Okay. I think with this we'll go into the Python semantics, but before that I'll go and show you the code part of it. Okay. So that you guys are aware, like, okay. Okay. So now, let me show you the variables part of it. Okay. So now if you see over here, what I've done is I've given a counter, which is value 100. miles, which is 34.5, and then you can actually, so I think Santosh said that dictionary, so basically Santosh, you can actually take out the keys and the values. Okay, you can take out a key and you can modify the value of it. Okay, again Santosh asked a question whether dictionary values can be changed, so that can be done that way. Okay. Okay, so now what you need to do over here is that, okay, and if you see this particular code set, right, which I've highlighted, okay, so you see over here I've given a variable as 100, then miles as 34.5, then I given name, then I given a boolean value, then I given a complex value. Now how do you understand, okay, that what variable is of what type? Okay, so if you see over here in compared to other languages as in if you see something like Java or allied things, you have to declare an integer, a float, and all those things. In this case, okay, the key thing here is that in each of them, see over here, okay, each of them, right, each of them I have not declared any variable type, right? I have just given them as it is, and then with the help of this type function, I will try to find out what kind of variables they are. So let me just go ahead, remove this guy, tools, build. Okay, so let me try to build it, and let me try to show you guys the result. Okay, okay, so you can see over here, right? First one is an integer, second one is a float, third one is a string, fourth one is a bool, which is like true is a bool, then it's a complex. Okay, then we have b comma hello, that's basically a byte, which is nothing but a Unicode. Okay, Unicode is a standard which is basically used across, which actually means that in any platform or any language, a character will be represented in a similar way. Okay, so that's Unicode. Let's take the second example, guys. I mean, okay, let's take the second example. So if you see over here, I have just spoken about the list, the tuples, and all those things, right? So basically, let me take a take the variable set. Okay, just hang on for a bit. Okay, so what we have over here is that we have got list, we have got some of the tuples, and then we have got some of the dictionaries. Okay. So what happens in case, again, guys, this is very important for anybody who is going to use as a data scientist, you actually need to work on the data most of the time. And if you have to work on the data, you need to perform a lot of operations. So if everything that you extract out of your code, okay, extract out of your data, you need to process it. So list, tuple, and dictionary is going to play a very key and vital role. Okay, let's try to understand first thing, right? What we have done over here is that if you see the first line which I've highlighted, okay, highlighted as in, let me take one of the these things and try to highlight it. Okay, okay, this is the first thing. So what I've done is that I've created a list over here. In the next case, I'm trying to ask like what kind of variable it is, right? So what is the type of it? So it will give type the variable and give it to me. Okay, then if you're trying to print it, you will actually print out the complete list. Now after this, if you see over here, list 0:3, this is very interesting. So why it is interesting? It is interesting because now it will take the data from the first index, which is 0, till the third index, that is 2. So 0, 1, 2, all the three values 0, 1, 2 will be printed. Okay, now print list 2 column, this will actually start from 2. So basically this one, if you see over here, if you give a 2 colon and a blank space, which means that from 2 everything till the end. Okay, then if you try to modify it, list 0 is equal to 23, it will try to modify this thing, and then if you try to print it, it will actually print it. Okay, so similar case here, everything same in. So if you see over here, it's a tuple. I have taken the same data which we have in the list. Okay, then I'm trying to print it out in the next case. Then basically the type of the stuff, it will say it is a tuple. Second stuff, it will say that print up, which is nothing but it will print whatever is inside the tuple. After that, from the beginning till the third character or the third index, okay, it will print out. After that, the similar thing to end. Now here I have what you can see over here is that let me just clear all and come and show you this thing. So I've actually, what I've done is that I have actually commented out these two sections, right? I'll show you this too as well. So let's say what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to modify a tuple. Now what happens over here is that your tuple is immutable, so it will immediately throw an exception. So what happens in case of list is that, so key thing here is that you see over here the list can be modified, right? Whereas your tuple cannot be modified. I think Santosh asked me this question, and that is a very excellent question, which is modifiable, right? Because there will be business use cases where you need to modify some and don't need to modify the other, right? Then if you see over here, let me clear all drawings. And then if you can see over here, what I've done is that I've created a dictionary, okay? So let me just take my stuff, okay? So this is a dictionary. So what I've done over here is that, okay, let me, so what you have over here is that you have a key called name and a value called Shubra. You've got a code for the particular individual. So code is 6733, department is sales, okay? So basically if this is an individual, this is a code and this is a department. So basically you type what is the variable type, it will give you that it's a dictionary, okay? And then the name of the individual, like you are passing actually the key value, it will give you the value, okay? Pass the key, it will give you the values. And then here, this is the way you list all the keys, and this is the way you list all the values, okay? Guys, you are there or not? Can you guys respond saying that yes, you are there or you're not? Okay, guys, you're still there. Okay, great. So let me clear all the stuffs and then try to execute this guy, okay? Okay, build. Okay, so it will try to execute the whole thing and come up with answers. So you can see over here, like if I put this particular section, go up and see what it has given over here is that it has given the class. Okay, hang on. Yes, so it has given the class as list for the first one. It has given all the values because I have done a print and I have given a print for the complete list. And then if you see over here, it is actually giving the first three, right? Okay. Then it will say my string true because there is one 2 till end. So your 2 till end is this thing, right? And then what I've done is that if you see over, I have modified the list and printed it. So modified and printed is 23. Okay. The similar thing for your tuple, everything remains similar. Okay. In case of dictionary, you see that it is dict. And then let me just go back. Okay. Yeah, Muthu, I will do uncomment and I will run it. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay. I know we all are eager to see that exception. Right. Okay. So if you see somebody said, what is 69? 69 is index 0. Okay. Everything starts from 0. Okay. So basically, if you see over here, if you can see over here, type dict, it has given that it is a class of dict. Okay. And then the value dictionary name, dict.keys will give the keys, dict.underscore values, it has given out all the values. Now guys, one key thing, did you, okay, so one key thing guys, what you need to remember over here is that there is no, so the class values, right? So in many programs, many programming languages, right, you have got one specific stuff, right, that you cannot use a class as a variable, right? But you can see over here, I'm using list as a variable right here. I'm using a class, which is something like your dictionary as a variable name here, right? As a variable name here, right? So this is something which is very interesting, and it's something which makes the whole thing very simple, right? You don't need to worry about key values and all those things. It can understand that. Okay. Okay, so okay, R index in R. Okay, Muthu said that in R index starts with 1. Okay, so yeah, yeah, I think so. Muthu has clarified that. So these are not reserved keywords. Yes, these are not reserved keywords in Python. So yes, one more thing which Muthu said that in R indexing starts with 1. Yeah, that may be actually language wise it varies. So in most of the programming languages as it is, it starts with 0. Okay, so yeah, I think 0 to 3 it will be a bit of confusing for the guys who are coming from R background. Okay, so but anybody who is coming from Java and all, for you guys it will be easier because in Java it starts with 0, right? Okay, okay guys, I think so I hope you guys understood like the basics of basic variables which are part of Python, right? Okay, okay, right. So like I will just finish a couple of slides and then we'll go for a logical break because I just want to give the logical break where Python ends and then we go into statistics. I want you guys to refresh up and come back while you go for statistics. Okay, give me some time. Okay, I hope it's fine for you guys, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so here it is. You can see over here, there is some things which you need to understand about Python. Okay, if you are coming from a different programming background, so Python, some of the stuffs are very simple in Python, which might confuse you. Each statement has its own semantics. Okay, then there is something called def statement, which is like a function in Python, which doesn't which is not executed immediately. It's like a function which will be executed only when it is called. Okay, other thing is that Python uses duck typing or latent typing, allows polymorphism, which means that actually it allows polymorphism without inheritance. So basically if you see over here that I have given some variable equal to 69 and now that variable can keep on changing, right? It can keep on changing. So if you say that it is now 69 and later point of time it move it into a string, that is still possible. Okay, you don't declare that. Okay, so strong, basically one more thing which you need to very well understand is this particular part, which I would like to reiterate to everybody out here, is that if you're using something as comma, okay, then it is fine. But if you're using as plus, then at times it will fail. The reason here is that when you are saying comma, it is basically expecting that the variable on, okay, hang on, let me just clear this. On your this side of the script, this side of the comma and this side of the comma should be of the similar type. Okay, if it is, in case it is plus. Okay, so basically if it is instead of comma, if it is plus, it will expect both the things to be of similar type. Okay, okay, I think yeah, I think so that is what you need to keep in mind. Okay, so that is one thing which you need to keep in mind. If you use plus, then it might create some issues. Okay, and if you're using comma, that will sail you smoothly. Okay, okay, so is it clear, guys, this part? Okay, is it clear, guys, this part? Does it make sense to you guys? Okay, okay, so this needs to be taken care of. Okay, now, okay, I think so what I will do is that I think there are a few slides which are left. Okay, in case of Python, like 8 to 9 slides. I believe let's go for a break. I think then let's come back. So it is 9:10. Let's all join back at 9:30. We'll cover the last portion of Python. Okay, the last list which is left portion of Python, and then we'll go into statistics. Okay, we'll see how much we can cover there. Okay,
so Shubra, can we make it 9:25? We typically take a 15-minute break. That should be enough.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise we may get delayed. Huh? Yeah.
Okay, then 9:25, guys. So please be there by 9:25. Yeah. So Deepak, are you there? So other guys can go for leave. I think Deepak had some queries, so I said him that I will connect with him on during the break. So Deepak,
So
you are good?
Shubra, what I've requested Deepak is, his query was around installation. So
Oh, okay.
we will connect with him tomorrow morning, right, and help him install in case he has any challenges. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Perfect, Amit. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Hi everyone, we have a break going on right now. Please wait for the next 3 to 4 minutes and we will be starting off in the next 3 to 4 minutes. Thank you. Is that okay? And please say yes in the chat box because I think someone just spoke right now.
Okay, guys, I hope all of you are back. Should I get started? Can you please respond saying yes, no, yes, yes, okay. Okay, great. Okay. So Python syntax, okay, this is now what we are going to understand, okay. So if you can see over here, okay, very important thing, okay, whenever you write a Python program, okay, very important thing, Python follows something as indentation, okay. So whereas in different languages you've got flower braces, and I think anybody who is working with JavaScript, Node.js is flower braces, other languages is braces, but in this case there is something called indentation. So let's say this is an if logic, this is an if logic, okay. Now it will end with this colon, okay. After that, what you can see over here is that this particular line
will have some gap. Okay, this gap is a tab. Okay, so which is nothing but your sentence, if it has to be executed within this condition, it has to be within that tab. Okay, so it's called indentation. Okay, this is a very important thing in Python. And if you will see that if you don't follow the indentation, you will face syntax errors. Okay, now if you see conditional statement in Python is primarily if else. Okay, so you have something as if, you give a condition, then you have something as elif, which is nothing but the else if. You can give a condition 2, then you can give as elif the second condition, give it something like this, and then finally you have got else. So okay, so this is basically the structure, okay, of how you write a conditional statement in Python. Okay, any queries here? I hope nothing. Okay, fine till here, guys? Yes. Okay, so let me move ahead. Okay, so I think the variables part, Santosh, you can leave the first again. Okay, I think Muthu is asking me to help him understand the first part again, right? Okay, so basically if you see, Muthu, what happened, what I wanted to mean over here is that, okay, if you see this thing, right, you'll see that you need to follow something called indentation. Okay, I hope that is what you're asking. What is indentation? Yeah. Okay, so you have written your code over here, right? So let me just erase everything and come back and explain you again back. Okay, clear everything. So let's say you write your code over here. Okay, so this is basically your code. Okay, let me bring in. Okay. Oops. Okay, so if you see over here in your in your first pointer, okay, if you see if underscore name underscore equal to main, right, it ends with a colon, right? Now if you see the second sentence, it is not at the same level with if, right? It is at a distance, right? Okay, so that distance which you see from the level of if, that is called tab space, and that is something which you use as indentation. Okay, so that is something which you need to remember. Okay, yeah, indentation is very important in Python. Okay, now guys, one more thing which you need to always follow is and you need to always remember is loops. Without loops you can't write any programming code, which is the important programming code. So in case of our Python, what we have over here is that we have got basically two things. Okay, the first one is a for loop. Okay, which has got where you can see that I have taken a sentence, Mary had a little lamb, and what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do iteration on top of it. Okay, so what happens here over here is that you take the word as it is from based on the index from the list which is sentence, and then you print it out. The similar thing, if you are trying to write something, you're trying to loop something in numerical order, that is some discrete values. So what you do is that you take a for loop, I in range. So as I said sometime back, there is something called range and X range. So range is something which you guys will be using in case you want to, so the thought process here is that if you are trying to use numbers, you'll use something as range. Range means anything till that particular number. It can start from 1 to 10. You can give us 1, 10. I will show you an example for that. There is also something as while. So most of you guys always understand this thing that whenever you make a mistake, right, you keep on telling sorry till the person accepts your apology. So this is something like this. So while true as in like a boolean, print sorry. So this is like an infinite loop. But the key thing here is that what you need to take away from here is that you can use two key things, which is one is for loop and one is while. And the most important thing is that there is something called the variable in let's say a list, or variable in, let's say, range. Okay, these are the two key takeaways. Okay, with that I will move to something called functions. So how many of you know functions? Most of you have probably written programs using functions. So you can see over here I have given examples of 3 functions. So if you see the first function is print hello. So what it will do is that you just call the function, it will print hello, right? The second one, what it is trying to do is that it will take the arguments, whatever you give, it will take the arguments, it will try to process it, and it will give an output, right? So what it is trying to do over here is that uh, it will. So if you see over here, what it will do is that if it will take 2 arguments, and now if your 2 arguments for this particular function has underscore args is 5.16 and 1 comma b, then based on whatever is given over here, so you have a default value for argument 2 e colon 0. In place of that, it will take 1 comma b. What happens when you give a default variable is that, let's say you're not giving the second argument, then the default value will be taken. Okay, so that's one key thing which you need to remember. After this, it's like the steps what it will follow is like, with argument 1 it will add 4, and the list it will add, basically with the argument 2 it will add another list which is a comma 7. Okay, as simple as that. The third thing which you need to remember is lambda. Lambda is very interesting addition to Python, where the key thing that this guy will do is that it will create an anonymous function. Okay, so what happens over here is that when you are sending this function lambda as your return value, it will take the input and it will perform a one-liner. I mean, it will give you output as a one-liner function, and that function can be used across. Okay, I'll show you an example when I show you the code part of it. Okay, so I hope this part is making some sense. How robust hazards is confusing, right? Yeah, it's definitely confusing, but okay, I'll show you. When I show you the example, you'll understand. So what basically, so I think Santosh, key thing to remember here is that you are actually sending 2 arguments, right? I mean, the has args function has got 2 arguments, right? One argument you have to pass a value, other argument it has got some default value, right? So what happens is that if you're not sending, yeah, the second argument is a list, right? If you're not sending a list there, okay, as input, it will still take the default one and keep on appending. Let's say you are sending a new list, it will actually take the parameter value that you are sending. Okay, so that's the beauty. You can actually keep a default and you can actually send a new value which will replace the default. Okay, I think Santosh got it. Okay guys, so key thing to remember here is that normal to what programming you guys do, programming as in what functions you guys use, you have got something as lambda. Okay guys, how many of you remember Fibonacci series? Anybody remember Fibonacci series? Okay, yes, no? Okay, guys, take 5 minutes of your time as I show you the different examples. Can you just type out it in the chat pod? Okay, just think through it and type it out. Take 5 minutes of your time. Okay guys, so in the meantime, let me do the setup for what I'm going to show you as what programs I'm going to show you. Okay, take 5 minutes. So now it is 9:35, exactly 9:40. If you guys have an answer, just type it out. In the meantime, I will start showing you the examples which I have. Okay, so let me go back to the code. Okay, so guys, let me type the question here so that you guys can see. You guys, if you can remember, you just code it out. Yes, so basically okay, So basically what you need to write here is that honoring the time that you have, why don't you write only one function that will create a Fibonacci series. Okay. What you can do is that if you have the answer ready, just type it out here and we will see and evaluate it. Okay. So this is the question that you have. And now you need to write at least one function. You can use looping or you can use recursion. Okay. Just to basically understand the fundamental. You don't need your IDE. You don't need a programming environment. But if you understand what a Fibonacci series is, then you can answer it. How many of you know what a Fibonacci series is? Everybody knows it here, right? Anybody who doesn't know what a Fibonacci series is, can you please say no, I don't know, so that I can just tell you what a Fibonacci series is? Anybody out here? Everybody knows what a Fibonacci series is? So I've given an example as well. So I believe everybody knows. Yes. Okay, great. So can you write a function? I think Santosh has already started writing it. Excellent, Santosh. Okay, guys. So in the meantime, let me do the setup here to show you the examples. Okay. Okay, guys, 2 more minutes. After that, I'll start the class. If you guys can parallelly listen the class and code it, nothing like that. But I mean, it's fine. You can actually send me probably at the end of the day also, if you are not able to finish it by 9:40. But anyway, whoever sends it at 9:40, that's like awesome stuff. Okay, I'm giving you 2 more minutes left. Just try it out. Okay, great. Venkatesh has come up with a reply. Okay. Okay. Somebody, Santosh, also come up with a reply. Okay. Great. So guys, hold on to your replies, and whenever your ID is ready, you have to run them. Okay. Maybe not today, but tomorrow, if your ID is ready, you can just run these and try to find out, right? Okay. So I think awesome. Venkatesh and Santosh. Okay. But I just wanted the thought process. Syntax wise, you guys might be wrong. That is fine. But the thought process is very important, because at the end of the day, you need to write programs. Syntax, you can anyway get it, but the thought process is very important. Okay, guys, I think 2 of you, excellent, Venkatesh and Santosh, you guys have come up with an answer. I don't want to debate that whether it is right or wrong, but I loved it that you guys came up with an answer. Awesome, guys. Okay, okay, great. The thought process, awesome, right? Okay, let me go ahead, guys, and if you guys can see my screen, you can see that this is how you basically write a if loop. Okay, in Python. Now you will notice that this is what I was going to say, right? I was actually telling you guys that basically what you have over here is that this highlighted portion which you have over here is basically the indentation, right? This is what I wanted to tell you. Now if you see over here, the variable is 50. If the variable is greater than 100, then follow this condition, greater than 100. If the variable is equal to 100, then equal to 100, and less than 100, then less than 100. Basically 50 is less than 100, so this is the answer. Okay, I think Madhav has also come up with some reply. Excellent, guys. So people are coming with some of the replies. I think the key thing you have got that you have to write def and write a function, right? So that's one of the key thing which you need to find out. And then you need to actually take the program that you guys have written and need to try it on your IDE once that is installed. Because I believe you need to do some more amount of work, okay, to get your Fibonacci series correct. Okay, guys. So with this, I would just take you through the loops. Okay. So this is the same program, right? Basically what you have over here is that here is a list. Okay, so if you see over here, here is your list, right? And then you have your for loop, which will take each word from the loop, and it will say that, okay, let me just run and say that the word, and you can see over here I've given comma. The reason for giving comma is that word is a string and your length is a number. Okay, why not? Let me run it. Okay, let me run it and just show you guys. Okay, tool build. Okay, so basically if you see over here, Mary is a 5-letter word. So basically if you see this guy, particular guy running, Mary is a 5-letter word, had is a 3-letter word, A is 1, little is 6, and okay, hang on guys. Okay, let me just move this guy behind. Okay, so basically what you have seen over here is this, that you have this particular set of words and their length, right? Okay, I think great. Atul has also come up with an answer. Okay, excellent guys. I think I'm really loving it. The participation that you guys are showing, I'm really loving it. Okay guys, so in the loop you can see over here that I have used something as comma because I'm concatenating a string with a number. Okay, makes sense, right? Okay, next what I'm trying to do over here, let me clear the whole thing. If you see over here is that this particular thing which I've highlighted is basically printing a loop from 0 to 1, I mean 0 to 10, right? 0 to 10, which will not include 10 because it will be 0 to 9. Okay, so which you can see over here, 0 to 9. Okay, so basically 10, it will take default as 0, but you can actually probably give it from let's say, let me take an example like 5 to 10, and let me try to run it. Let me save it and build it. So you can see over here that the new loop is from 5 to 9, right? Okay, so you can do something like this as well. Okay, then something like bool equal to true, count equal to 0. Basically what I'm trying to do over here is that I'm trying to loop through the counter 5 times using while. So while bool is in true, now if the counter becomes 5, break the loop, right? So that is what I'm trying to do. Okay, so this is one of the approaches, while loop, for loop, and using range. Okay, so this is in 3.0, there is no X range, only range. Okay guys, then let's see some of the functions. Okay, so this is an example of function. I think this is what I wanted to I think you guys had a query, so this is how you write it. So you can see again, this is the def is something which says that it is a function. Okay, now everything is indented here, everything is indented, and then you are calling has underscore args, and then you're trying to run it. So let me just run this guy. Okay, so you can see over here that in this particular case, I'm sending 1 comma b. Okay, and there is a comma 7. So with just a plus, okay, I'm actually concatenating 2 lists, right? So my list is basically now concatenation of 1 comma b and a comma 7, right? Okay, so now one more thing that I wanted to show you was a lambda. So you just need to write lambda and put your arguments inside. Okay, so this is basically a one-liner functionality which actually helps you to create a function on the fly. Okay, it's an anonymous function, so it doesn't have a name, so it's an anonymous function which will create on the fly, and you will return the function as it is, and then you can use it. So you can see over here what I'm trying to do is that I'm sending Bravo and I'm sending 3, which will make Bravo printed 3 times. Okay, make sense guys? Okay, you will use it in your programs as in data science, this gets used because a lot of times we need to extract data, and Lambda finds a very good usage. Okay. I hope this makes sense, and let me go into error handling part. So let me show you the error handling part here itself. Okay, so basically this is how you handle errors. Okay, so I think let me start this slides part of it and then show you guys. Okay, so the key thing here is that you can see 3 blocks out here. The first block is about the way you handle errors, is like try, accept. Okay, try and accept is like, if you are using from Java, you will see a try catch. Okay, the same with JavaScript world as well. So try, accept, and then you get an error, you print that error out there. So basically, if you encounter an error or basically an exception, then it will hit the IO error. So basically, if there is no file available and you are trying to open that file, it will say it is an input output error, and it will be caught by this accept IO error, and it will be printed out here. So that's one part to it. There is a parent class for exception, which is something like it will catch all the exceptions that you will get. Okay. Below it, if you see, there is something called try and finally. Okay. So now what happens over here is that finally will run regardless of anything. It's the same concept. If you guys are coming from Java and allied backgrounds, you probably have got some idea that there is something called finally or try, catch, finally. The finally is something which is regardless if there is an exception here. So because the square bracket 7 equal to 0, if this variable doesn't exist, then it is immediately an error, right? If this error occurs, the finally will still run. Okay, that is the primary concept of finally. Other thing is that you can actually create your own error classes. Okay, which means that you can just make a class like my exception. So you create your own exceptions. So these exceptions can actually catch all your custom exceptions. Okay, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of the differences between these things, but there is again a very niche area of how and when you can create your own errors. Okay, but just to give you an idea, guys, if you need to create your exceptions, you can create it this way. Okay, then we have very important thing which is called classes. Classes is a very important concept. Okay, so you can create your own classes in Python, and this is basically how you declare a class. Okay, your class can have defs, which is like functions. Okay, I think Santosh is asking finally. So finally, basically, Santosh, finally means that irrespective of if there is an exceptions, the finally will run. Okay, so let's say you have got an important line of code or important logic which needs to be run in any case, right? So you put it inside finally. Mostly it is seen that when you do a file closing, okay, if there is some error in the file handling, but still you want to close the file, okay, you put it inside the finally block. So that's the thought process, but that is the use of finally. So anything, even if it hits an exception, if something you have put inside the finally block, it will anywhere run. Okay guys, okay. So now if you see classes, which I was actually talking about, is a very important concept. So in classes, you can segregate your requirement, and then you can call it as many times as you want, right? So what has been done over here is a vector class which is created, and then to which some values are passed and some values are retrieved, right? So you can actually create a class using by writing this class, by appending class to the name of the class file. Okay, so you say class and then write my vector. It actually understands that you are now going to write a class. Okay, or whatever is coming ahead of it is a class. Then you can write your own definitions as in like functions. So they are given by defs. You can actually put annotation saying that it's a static method. So it will @ static method. This annotation saying that it's a static method. Okay, so this is how you do it. Very simple class. I will show you an example as I go into my code. Okay, Okay, one of the very important thing which you guys will be doing is also handling files. Okay, so I'll just give you a basic about the key libraries that will get used. So one is OS. So basically this module provides a portable way of using the operating system dependent operating system dependent functionalities. Like, so you can actually write something as os dot child directory. Okay, this will based on your os dependency, you can actually list out all the files. Okay, so basically you give it a path and from there you list down the files. Okay, then you have called glob, which is basically file globling. So even though the glob API is very simple, the module packs a lot of power. It is useful in any situation where your program uh, uh, basically where your program needs to look for a list of files on the file system with names. Okay, basically you're trying to find some files, then this can be useful. Okay. Okay, so basically there are some system methods. Okay, some of the questions is like underscore and double underscore. Basically there are some system methods which you can, which is like part and parcel of the Python system, which you can call using underscore. I will tell you more about this. I don't want you guys to get to give you a lot of complication on day one. Okay, so I will tell you about this as we go ahead in the class. So just think about it this way: there is a lot of system dependent stuffs which you can actually use call using this underscore. Okay, I'll go into that more as you go into the class. Okay, okay, so that is like glob. So okay, similarly there is something called shutil. Shutil is basically the module which offers a number of high level operations, something like file copying and removal. So that can be taken care using shutil. Okay, then you have something called pickle. Pickle is very important. So basically you have large data files which you now have done some amount of modifications, and now you now need to serialize them in order to store it, right? So you do it using pickle dump, and then if you have to deserialize and read it, then you use something as load. Okay, so I just wanted to give you guys an understanding of what those things are. So that's the reason I just named them, so that you guys remember it. Okay, when we go into the classes and if you're using this particular stuff, you remember that you were at the beginning said about this particular keywords. Okay, okay. Okay, right, guys. I mean, one more thing which you can see over here is that what we are trying to do is that we're opening a file. So the blue lines which you can see over here is a code which will open the file, read the lines, and will split the lines. So it will read the data, split it, and give it to the user. So this is a very, a lucid way of reading a text file and splitting it. So many of you who probably have been part of or have some amount of coding on Hadoop and allied things, and using Python or allied libraries, if you have ever done that, or if you've ever seen somebody doing that, you will see a similar amount of code. Okay, but I don't want to burden you guys with a lot of things on the day one. So just wanted to give you an understanding. Okay, what are the important things that you have? Okay, then one very important thing which generally in case of machine learning is not predominantly used, but at times you need it. Okay, that is called threading. So we all know threading, right? Have any of you who haven't heard about threading? Okay, all of you heard about threading? No one here who doesn't know about threading? Basically threads, everyone? Okay. Okay, so basically there are times when you need to split your process. Okay, whatever, let's say you're trying to do some work, and now what you want is that you want to make all the processes parallel, right? So what you basically do is that you spawn a thread and you ask the thread to do that. Okay, okay. So basically you have a business logic which can run parallel to the data which to the global data. Okay, so if you have something like that, and you can break down your code into multiple sections and each of them can run parallelly, then you basically spawn multiple threads. So you can actually spawn them using the thread. Okay, not something which we will very regularly use, but I just wanted you guys to know about it. Okay, Okay, guys. So this brings us to the end of the basics of Python. Okay, basic things that we have in Python. Okay, still we are in the basics. It is for the people who wanted to get some insight into Python. So in next 5 minutes, I am actually going to show you the programs related to this, and then you guys will see how they get executed. Okay, so let me show you the programs. Okay. Okay, so now if you see over here, what we have now is that first we have shown the function part of it, and let me show you the class part of it. Okay, so basically this is how you define a class. So again, I think in the slides, if you have seen, there was a bit of deformation in the code, but this is exactly how you can write a code which can run. The deformation is primarily because the spacing was not right, but this is basically how you need to write a code in Python, a neat code in Python with proper indentations. Okay, you can see over here that the def is inside class, so there is one level of indentation here. Okay, let me just take marker to mark it. Okay, so there is one level of indentation here. Okay, then the self and the internal variables are inside this. So basically one level of indentation here. So basically from here, there is one level of indentation here. Then from here, there is one level of indentation here. Okay. Okay. Next, similarly, this def and this def, the logics are parallel to each other. Okay. Santosh, we'll come into the self part of it. It's more about saying that this particular class, so self means this particular class instance will be using it. Okay. Okay, so now what we have over here is that the return is like one level down, so in the similar way, right? Okay. Okay, then you have static where the annotation prior to that, this particular level is parallel to all the three, right? Also, okay. Okay, so yes, so I think the key point here is that what we are trying to say over here is that when you have self as in the same class which you have created, the instance of it. Okay, so I think so Atul, we will not go into Java and Python static function differences, because I think many of the class here doesn't know about Java. So if you have similar questions, probably you can send me a private message. We will send you the replies. Okay. Okay. I just don't want to confuse the class. Okay. So basically you can see over here return. Okay. So the key thing here that I wanted you guys to understand here is that this is how you write a class. Okay. You will get more understanding about what goes inside the class. Okay. And that needs some more amount of learning. Okay, so that those things you will understand as you go into the class. Okay, so this is just basically understanding that there is something called class available in Python, but there is some amount of subtle differences that you have with other languages. Okay, that's the key thing. Okay, and this is how you call the class. Okay. Okay, so this is how you what is a class looks like. Okay. Now let me go ahead and talk about the thread part of it. Okay, so let me remove all. So this is basically how you write a threading class. Okay, so you've written a threading class, and then basically where you are trying to call the number of threads. So basically what we are trying to do over here is that I'll just simplify it, right? I just don't want to confuse you guys. You have got something as 10, so which means that I'm trying to initiate 10 threads. So my thread dot start. Okay, so this will actually go over here and it will call the run. So people from Java background probably can probably can find some amount of similarity. For the other guys, it might be a bit tough. Okay, but what I wanted to tell over here is that my thread dot start would call this particular class, and start would call run. Okay, that's the basic of thread. Okay, when we go into usage of threads, I will tell you, but most probably threads are not that much prevalent in this data science part. Okay, so might not see you as well. So but just to give you understanding that this exists. Okay, so when you say thread.start, it will actually call the run. Okay, and then it will execute this particular portion. Okay, so let me just execute this thing and just help you guys to understand that. Okay, okay, build. Okay, so what it will do is it will run all the threads. So it is something like all the threads have started speaking and everything is happening parallelly. Okay, so that's the idea behind this. Okay, if you spawn, each of them will do their own set of works. Okay, okay. So basically, just to give you an answer, when you say global, okay, there are a lot of concepts where the threads hold private value, and then there is something like threads report to a global variable. When you say global, that means accessible by all the threads. Okay, when you say global, it's accessible by everybody. When you say private, it's specific to a particular thread. Okay, so that's the thought process, Atul. I would refrain myself from going into too much of details owing to the time that we have, and also we need to cover something on statistics as well, right? So basically, I hope you have found out that this language is interesting, right? This language is interesting, right? I hope you. I mean, I understand that in 1.5 hour, you guys will never become a master in Python, right? But this is like a starting point for you guys, right? I believe at the end of the course, you guys will both be a master of Python and both be a master of machine learning. But at this point of time, this is day one, guys. So don't burden yourself. Love what you have learned. Okay. So that's the way to take things. Did you guys find the thing interesting? That's more important, guys. Okay. Okay. Does it looks something? For some people, it's look like that. It's the number of lines are reduced compared to other languages. Yes, exactly, Muthu. Number of lines are very much reduced. Some of the guys who are from different programming backgrounds will find that very lucrative. Okay, even for myself, I started my first programming from PHP. Okay, then I have worked across a lot of programming languages like C, C++, Java, and now probably when I move from Java to Scala and here from to C, C++ to Python, I'm loving Python. Okay, so okay. Yeah, I understand, Santosh. The self as an argument is confusing. Okay, so this is another nitty gritty. Okay, when we go into where we go into usage of this thing in a particular class, we will tell you like how it works. Okay, this is just an overview. Okay, so guys, with this, I would say I am ending Python part of it. Okay, for today, and let me go into the stats part of it. Okay, the stats part, we are having two parts to it. First part is that we'll cover the basics. Okay, guys, I think the Scala part will not discuss it today, but you don't need Python knowledge for Scala, so there's a basic answer. Okay. Okay, so the thing here is that what I wanted to talk today more over here is about statistics. Okay, so in statistics, what I am going to give over here is that is a basic introduction to statistics. Okay, now we will have a deeper intro to statistics in the next coming classes, which would be more on using Python and solving some of the things. Okay, let's quickly go into statistics now. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. Intro to statistics. Okay. Guys, take a if you guys have water in front of you, take a sip of water, and so block whatever you have learned inside. So whatever you have learned in Python, put it into one bucket and store it. Open up a new bucket, and that's where you are going to fill all your knowledge, which I give you on statistics. Okay. Okay, so basically 3 parts to it. Most probably owing to the time, I will cover the first 2 portions. Most probably I'll cover the first 2 portions today. And in the next class, we'll start with the distributions. Okay. So statistics basically is all about how to analyze your data, right? So you have got data. Now, how do you analyze it? So I think Deepak has got a question when it will be the next session. Deepak, all the details will be shared to you. Okay. Amit will be sharing all the details with you. So no worries, guys. I mean, those of you who are part of the session, you will get all the details. Okay. Okay, let's get into statistics. That is a part one. So let's try to understand what is data, right? Day in and day out, each of us handle a lot of data, right? So to define data, what Wiki has given over here is that data is a set of values of qualitative and quantitative variables. Restated pieces of data are restated pieces of data are individual pieces of information. Data is measured, collected, and reported and analyzed, whereupon it can be visualized using graphs or images. Data as a general concept refers to the fact that some existing information or knowledge is represented or coded in some form suitable for better usage or processing, right? So guys, when you actually go to your, so how many of you use Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter? How many of you guys use them? Anybody who do not use them, right? No, I don't use Twitter, Facebook, or WhatsApp. Anybody out here who doesn't use them? Okay, so Deepak says he uses all of them. So guys, just to let you guys know, each time you type something, okay, you are generating data, right? So basically you write or comment or you like or you send a smiley or you send a image or a photo of yourself or you tag somebody, all that you guys are doing is generating data. Okay, so this is what data means. Okay, it's a value which can be both quantitative and qualitative and which after some amount of processing can be analyzed. Okay, okay, I hope everybody understand what is data. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, now basically we need to understand what is descriptive statistics and what is inferential statistics, right? So what is a population? Population is the entire group. So so the human being, if you say the from across the world, human being is a population, right? But basically if you take a few people, right, a few people from a particular location, it becomes a sample, right? So basically if you follow elections, okay, so before the election results come out, some people do exit polls and they predict, right? So do they do survey for everybody? They don't do survey that for everybody. They take sufficient randomized or stratified samples, or basically some samples which is uniform in nature, and they pick them up, and based on that they do a survey and they say that okay, this particular party is going to win or this particular person is going to get defeated, right? So that is what a sample is. Sample is a portion of the population, not the whole population. Okay, for practical reasons, a chosen subset of the population is called a sample. Okay, and that is what is studied as opposed to compiling the data against the entire population. So basically the example that I've given summarizes is getting summarized here, right? Okay, okay, descriptive statistics. What is the use of descriptive statistics, right? So descriptive statistics basically summarize the data by describing what was observed in sample numerically or graphically. And inferential statistics uses the patterns in the same data to draw inferences. So, okay. Okay, so the key thing here is that, so what I wanted to let you guys know here is that what is descriptive? Descriptive is the one which summarizes the stuff, and inferential is the one which uses a pattern from the samples and help you to conclude on something. Okay, that is, every data has got some amount of randomness. Okay, and inferential statistics which take the data and devise some conclusions on it. Okay, okay, now basically if you see type of data analysis, so there is generally three type of data analysis. One is univariate analysis, one is bivariate, and multivariate. So what is univariate analysis? One variable is analyzed at a time. Objective is to describe the variable. Example, how many students are graduating with analytics degree? So if so in a class there are 100 students, and then you are trying to find out of those 100 students how many of them are actually trying to graduate with analytics degree. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to take one variable and trying to analyze it. Second is bivariate. Two variables are analyzed together for any possible association or empirical relationship. Example, what is the correlation between gender and graduation with analytics degree. So consider this fact that how many people with gender male were taking analytics degree in their graduation, and how many people with gender female were taking analytics degree in their graduation. So basically, if you're trying to find a relationship which says that probably there are more there are more people with gender female taking analytics degree, then you can basically come up with a trend saying that now more women are taking are getting influenced to take analytics degree, some kind of inference like this. Okay, so basically when you take two variables, so our case is gender and analytics degree, you are taking two variables and trying to find a association, so that is bivariate analysis. Now it might happen that with you can use multiple variables, so when it is more than two variables and you're trying to find a relationship or association, then that is called multivariate analysis. So for example, gender, country of residence, and graduation with analytics degree. So you're taking three different things and you're trying to say what is the trends, right? So that is what we have as multivariate analysis. Okay, and now we will talk about the variable types. So what are the different variable types? Variable types are generally of two broader categories, numeric and categorical. Okay, so we'll learn about more about them. So basically, if you see variables are numeric or categorical. In numeric, there is continuous and discrete. In categorical, there is ordinal and nominal. Okay. So continuous means so what do you understand by continuous, right? Can take any values between a permitted range. Example, height, weight, sales, unemployment rate. So height, like somebody can be like so 160 meter, 170 meter, something like that, right? So if you're saying about height, is can be 160, 161, 162, 163. Consider height. If you're saying about somebody is 80 kg, somebody can be 81 kg, 82 kg, 83 kg. So the human, so for a normal human being, the height can be between, we saw probably 6 feet height, can be between 75 to 85, but it can be 75.5, 75.6, something like that, right? So that is something like a continuous, right? Now there is a second type to it, which is called discrete. Okay, so discrete basically can take a whole number value within a permitted range. Okay, within a permitted range. For example, we can take number of cars. Okay, so if you say what are the number, the number of cars owned by a family. Okay, so it will anyway be, for example, it can be 3 or 4, right? It cannot be 3.3 cars, right? It cannot be 3.7 cars, right? So it will be like 3 or 5 cars or 1 or 2 cars. So basically it's a discrete number. Okay, so continuous and discrete, two variants of numerical variables. And then in categorical, we have got ordinal and nominal, right? So what is ordinal? What is nominal? Logical ordered categorical values, right? So when we go and buy a t-shirt, we have got small, medium, large, XL, double XL, right? So this is like an order, right? Yet there are different categories, right? So categorical means categories like gender, male and female. Okay, and then we have got so in that there is something called ordinal, which can be arranged in a particular format, something like small, medium, large, XL, and double XL. So that is ordinal. Now coming to nominal, these are not logically ordered, right? So in previous case, small, medium, they are logically ordered. There is a size attached to each of them, like small will be of this particular size, medium will be of this particular size. So there is a logic behind small, medium, large, and XL. But when it comes to nominal, there is no logic behind that. So basically, nationality, somebody is Indian and somebody is from US, the nationality will be Indian and US, but there is no logic defined, right? That this is the reason, this only because of the country of residence it is being defined, right? There is no logical ordering to that. Okay, similarly with religion, similarly with language, similarly with gender. So everything has got a reasoning, but there is no logical ordering to that. Okay, so 4 categories of variables. Fine, guys. Okay, numeric, categorical, continuous, discrete, ordinal, nominal, right? Okay, with this, let me move to something called events. Okay, now this is key, right? An event is a subset of outcomes from simple space. Okay, Or for example, in toss of 2 dice, event of interest might include getting even number on both the dice. So you're getting the thought process, right? What is an event, right? When you guys, I mean, how many of you guys have played with dice or have flipped a coin? So if you go and see any cricket match, okay, it starts with flipping of a coin, right? So when you flip the coin, and if it is like a unbiased coin, then there is chances that it will get a head or a tail, right? 50% chance, right? It will get a head, it will get a tail. So there is a fair coin, if it is a fair coin, right? So this is basically flipping the coin is an event, and it will actually generate an outcome which can be a head or a tail. So that's an event. Okay, a random variable is a variable which can take multiple values and has a probability associated with each of these values. For example, a toss of 2 dice, the sum of the values in the face of the dice will be a random variable. So basically, if you flip two, I mean, if you toss 2 dice, okay, one dice can give you, let's say 3, and other dice can give you 5. So if you sum it up, it can be 8, right? But this is something like random, right? So second time you do it, you might not get 3 and 5. You might get different stuffs, right? Okay. Other thing that you need to remember over here is that there's something called probability distribution. So probability distribution, we'll again cover it in detail, is a function which helps us to define the probability associated with each value of random variable. So as I said, when you flip the coin, head and tail is 50-50%. So if you do a probability distribution, you'll say that 0.5 is the probability for the head, 0.5 is the probability for the tail. Again, we'll go into details of it. I think this is just the beginning part of it. Okay, so let's so here I have given you a basic introduction to the initial part of the statistics, what key things it has got, right? Now we'll go and dive a bit deeper. So it is the second part. I think the second part is something which we'll cover today, and then we'll conclude, and we will take the next part later. So basically, in the second part, what we have something as mean, mode.
Shubra, can I just get a quick second here, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so folks, all of you that are in the class, we have a pleasant surprise for you at the end of the class. We are launching a special discount today that's valid for 3 days precisely. Okay. So we're running a special discount valid for 3 days only. And I would request all of you to hang around for at least 12 minutes more as Shubro completes this part of the class, so that we will announce your special discount as well as share the schedule for the next class. Thank you. Shubro, over to you.
Thank you very much, Amit. So basically, the key things that you have in descriptive statistics is the part one is central tendency. So what central tendency? Central, we know anything which is related to center, right? Okay. Tendency is like whether it is deviating from center or it is very close to center. What is the tendency of it? Now, let's say you are taking a set of data and pushing it into let's say a visualization or a graph, which you can see over here, right? I think if you see over here, right, this is something which you see over, right? There is a graph over here. Then there is an image over here which shows something like a graph. Then there is a curve to it. So basically, the dotted line says that it is the center of the graph, right? So what I wanted to tell over here is that when you talk about central tendency, there are key 3 things: the mean, the mode, the median. What is mean? Mean is basically the average. Okay. So if you take a set of data, you sum them up. Let's say 3 data, 10, 20, 30. Sum them up, 10 plus 20 plus 30. So what you get is 10 plus 20 plus 30 is 30 plus 20 is 50. 50 plus 10 is 60. Now you divide it by 3 because there are 3 values. You get 20 as your mean, right? Okay. Next is mode. Mode is the most frequently appearing stuff. So if you say something like your data has something like 10, 20, 20, 30, and then again 20, and if I ask you what is the mode of the data set, you will tell that it is what would be the mode. Let's say if your data set is like 10, 20, 20, 30, 20, right? So everyone see in your chatbot, I have sent a series of data. So if that is the mode, I mean, that is the data, what will be the mode? I think someone has given a right answer. Somebody with the name resident, Dinesh, Atul, everybody has given a right answer. So the maximum frequently occurring stuff, right? The most frequent one, okay, which is 20. Now, median is very important. Median is important because it gives the median value. So how many of you, as you went to your colleges, you found out that in your college, okay, basically when you went to your colleges, somebody said that the mean salary of that, I mean, in this particular college, the placement is very good because the mean salary that everyone gets is something like 20 lakhs. Okay, just one example. Okay, the key thing here is that if you have got a single individual getting a more data, so let's say what would be the what would be the mean for this thing, right? So what would be the mean for this? Can anybody tell me? Okay, I think I have given it 10, 20, 300. So if it is if your data is something like this, what would be the mean for that? Okay, your mean would be your mean would be tending towards 300, right? But basically there are people who, I mean, if you see now, somebody has got a salary which is, as you just, let's say 300, and some people have got salary 10 and 20, then you can see that this is a wrong perspective which has been given to people, right? That the mean salary is 110, but there are people who have got only 10 and 20, right? So basically what needs to be taken care over here is that median gives the center of the thing, right? So let's say it is like 10, then 20, then 25, 35, and then 100. Okay, so if this is probably, let's say for example, a data set, the median would be 25. Okay, so that's the idea. It's not tending to the largest value. Okay, so guys, with this you have got an exciting quiz out here. Okay, so I would cover a couple of more things and then I'll come back to the quiz. Okay, so I'll keep the quiz at the end, okay, so that you guys can solve it and give it to me. Okay, so let me cover a bit of other stuffs. Okay, there is some more things which is part of the measure of spread. Okay, so there are 4 key concepts out here. One is range, one is standard deviation, one is variance, one is interquartile range. So range is the distance between 2 data. If you see over here, the standard deviation is basically the measure of the spread, right? So if you see standard deviation, okay, you have a formula which is something like this, okay, which you can see over here. Okay, your standard deviation is nothing but square root of 1 divided by n. Then you will do a summation of xi minus x dash, whereas your x dash is nothing but the mean of it. Okay, mean of the data. Okay, we'll see one example where I will tell you. Okay, next we have got variance. Variance is nothing but the square of the standard deviation. So basically, if you remove the square which you have over here, right? If you remove the square root which is out on your standard deviation, okay, you get the output. What you get is basically your variance. So variance is the square of the standard deviation. So that's basically how variance is interpreted. Now, what are these two guys telling you? Variance and your standard deviation. Variance is telling what is the quality of your data spread, right? Whether your data is very much, so if you can see in the example, the data which is in the red, okay, the standard deviation is 10. You can see in the screen, right? The standard deviation is 10 because because the range of the data is very near to each other. Whereas in case of blue, the standard deviation is 50. That's because the data is very far from each other. Okay. Now, if you want to find standard deviation, there's the formula. But basically from the concept perspective, guys, this is very important. You need to understand that what you need to remember is that what is standard deviation, what is variance, and how they're used. Okay. If I give you a data which is very near, that is the range is very less, the standard deviation will also be very less. If the data is far, the standard deviation will also be very far. Okay. Okay, guys, this will be your second quiz. Again, I will give time to you at the end, but I would like to tell you more about the ways you can summarize and visualize data. Okay, I'll not go deeper into this, but I just wanted to give a insight into how you can summarize and visualize the data. Okay, so basically there are 4 different ways you can summarize and visualize the data. Okay, first thing is the cross tabulation, which is like the table that you can see over here. So you can see over here that in America, the average miles per gallon is this. In Europe, average miles per gallon is this, so 27. So you can see the table here, right? Row level average of MPG, right? So if you see over here, that's about the different regions and the average MPG, right? So that's one way, which is cross tabulation. Next, you have got something which is over here, sample box plot. So these are like box plot which says that how variant is your data, what is the range of your data. Okay, then you have got histograms. Histograms tell you like how is your data aligned. So is most of your data very near to the center, or is your data scattered to the tails. Okay, so that's what histogram will anyway talk about it more in our statistics too. And then scatter plot. So you can see over here the weight and the miles per gallon. Okay, that is a distribution out here, right? And you can see over here that there is, when you put the data in a scatter plot, you get the small circle like dots, right? And these dots actually tell you that how is the data arranged. Okay, now more about this will come in your future classes, but I just wanted to give you 3 key things over here, right? One is the whole, what would be basically the different aspect of statistics. Second thing was that coming down basically to descriptive statistics, what all things are there. Okay, and after that we went into the central tendency, the summarization, and the measure of spread, right? So these are the key things that I wanted to tell you from the statistics perspective, because this is something which will be very key for usage in the future lessons. Okay, so now let me take you back to the problem. I think if you have got 2 minutes, I think this is a very easy problem. If you can just find the answer for this thing. Okay, if you guys are still there and if you guys are still listening, can you just try this out and type your answers? So I'll be naming the person who will be doing it first. Okay, and be doing it right. So what will be the mean, what would be the median, and what would be the mode? Okay, anybody there who has solved it? Excellent. I think Dinesh got the median as 92. Excellent. What is the mean? Now I think 2 answers remain. What is the mean? Okay, Dinesh said that mode is 88. Excellent, Dinesh. Atul said this 92 is mean. Yes, absolutely right. Vasu says mode is 88. Absolutely right. Atul says 92 median. Yes, Atul. Madhav says 92. Yes, Madhav, 92 for, if you can write like what is 92 for? Atul says mode is 98. Santosh says mean is 88. Santosh, mean is not 88, mean is 92. Venkatesh, mode is 98, 88. Yes, mode is 88. Median and mean, median is 92. Madhav says that. Yes, guys. Any more guys out there? Okay. I believe. Thank you, guys. I think most of you have got the answers right. Okay. So, so what I would like to understand from you guys, did you guys get a brief understanding about what statistics is? And prior to that, in the previous session, what the basics about Python. So this is the first class, guys. Don't burden yourself thinking that you have got lot of or miles to understand. We will travel it together. So we'll help you to understand that and become better in that. So what I would like to understand from here is that, did you get a grasp of about what I have said? I mean, some parts of it. Okay, I don't want to get you to understand everything, but some parts of it, the basic parts of it, right? We're able to get it. If you are able to get it, say yes. If you haven't, then say no. We'll be more than happy to cover it probably in our coming sessions. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right. So thank you so much, Vasu, for your comment, and thanks everyone. Now the thing that we have is that we have the feedback form which I've just circulated, and I want all of you, without fail, to click this link and provide us your valuable feedback. That's the first point. The second is, Shubra, if you could please make me the host while people click this form. And the feedback is only 3 questions, huh? So you will not have any problems filling up these 3 questions, people. Okay. In the meanwhile, I'll show you how to get the recording of the video, the presentation, as well as the discounted link that I'm going to offer to all of you today. So Shubra, if you could please make me the host.
Yeah, mate.
Is everyone clicking on this form and filling up the form? Please say done in the chat box once you've filled up the feedback form. Okay.
Samit, you are the host now.
Thank you so much. So while you folks actually fill up the form, I wanted to show you this particular course page here. And all of you should be able to see the course page now. Machine learning using Python. In addition to machine learning using Python, we are also going to teach you complementary, right? We are going to teach you Tableau, data visualization, and visual analytics as a part of this course. Okay. So in this 19,900, the discounted pricing, folks, you get the machine learning using Python, all of the topics that you see here on this page, including the advanced ML topics. Apart from this, you also get Tableau, which is really important for you to be able to visualize the outputs of your machine learning algorithms and be able to present it in the business community or the business world that you're going to operate in, right? So this is a deadly combo. The first surprise is that we've added Tableau to this. You will get 6 hours worth of Tableau classes complimentary. You'll be able to do data storytelling using Tableau, dashboarding using Tableau, and even linear regression, the basic predictive analytics using Tableau as a part of this course. The other and even more pleasant surprise, and by the way, thanks a lot to those of you who have just said done in the chat box. So Surya and Venkatesh and Muthu, thank you. And the rest of you, please fill the feedback and say done. Vasu, thank you so much. Okay. Now, the second surprise is that we're going to be running a discount for those of you that joined this class today. All right. And there's going to be an additional discount of 3,000 rupees. All right. So it's going to work out to 16,900 rupees for only you people because you have joined the last webinar and this particular class. This discount will be valid today on Saturday, tomorrow Sunday, and Monday and Tuesday. So end of October 31st, Tuesday, we're going to close the discount. Please take fantastic advantage of this offer. In order to receive your discounted link and the video of the class today and the last class, as well as the presentations, right? All I want you to do is send me on a private chat. You can just send me your email ID and mobile number, right? And I'll make sure all of you receive both the videos to the last introductory webinar, as well as this class, plus the presentations for the last one and this one. In fact, you'll get the LMS page, right? So please send me your email IDs now, along with your name and your mobile number, and we'll make sure that all of this information reaches you. And in case you would like to discuss this particular course, thanks a lot. I've already started receiving some of your email IDs and names. If you could kindly add your mobile number as well, Dinesh, that would be great. And Madhav, you as well. Please just add your mobile number also. And if you would like to discuss, the course with me, the course outcomes, how we support you in transitioning in your career, we also help you build your resume, for a transition into data analytics, if that is what interests you, then please do feel free to call me directly. And you can see my number on this page here. It's also my WhatsApp number. I'm very happy to chat with you on WhatsApp and resolve all your queries. And just sharing my GSM come WhatsApp number with all of you. And I've already received all the email IDs, names and details. Vasu, Ratish, Aditya, thank you so much. Right, Madhav, Venkatesh, and we look forward to seeing you next weekend. And we will announce the schedule to you. I need to work with Shubradeep to see which day he's free next weekend, and I will work with Shubradeep, and we will announce the which day of the week we're conducting the class next week to all of you. Okay. As the course gains momentum, you may find that some weekends we may even have classes on both days, right? And that will be very valuable as we can complete the course quickly. So I hope you're super excited, right? And we will come back to you. And Madhav has a question if there's a certificate for the webinar. So Madhav, the certificate is for those who complete the whole course. We don't per se have a certificate for the webinar, okay? But of course, Madhav, I'll be in touch with you and I'll make sure that we offer a very good offer. The other thing is, if you're a student, please be sure to mention to me in your private chat that you're a student, because as all companies do, we also have special offers for students and for professors or academia who are in the academic sector, right? Or if you're looking for a job and you're not employed, again, you get the student offer. So please do make sure we require your iCard, for that, right? So you just need to share your iCard with me. Okay. So Aditya Gupta, you mentioned you're a student. That's fine, Aditya. So I will contact you and we will need your official iCard, and we will make sure that we do something special for the students as per the student offer. Okay. All right. Well, Shubradeep, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for having joined today, right? And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. And some of you may have me reach out to you, right, tomorrow. And feel free to, WhatsApp me or call me. And thank you and have a great weekend ahead of you. Okay. All right. Bye, folks. Thank you so much.